welcome back to my channel. I'm Vera. I know I have not posted for a long time, and that is because I have been so busy. And as you know from the title, I am going to be talking about how I found out that I was pregnant and some symptoms I had personally. The first thing I want to say is my intuition. You just kind of know that something's going on and your body just feels so different. I do want to say that I kind of associated my pregnancy symptoms um with my period symptoms. For example, my bloating, bloating, and tenderness of my breast felt much more intense. And nausea. They were the same symptoms, just more intense, more intense. For example, I could not really wear a bra without me wanting to just rip it out the moment I clipped it on. That's how bad it was for me. And the bloating, I already kind of looked like I had a bump, but that was just the bloating. And sometimes it would hurt a lot because it was gas building up and I couldn't pass it either end. So it was kind of painful. Bloating, nausea. The nausea for me before my period, it would be like not me gagging, but like me feeling nauseous, like just that feeling. Now with pregnancy, I was literally gagging and my ass getting watery, getting that taste in my mouth, that saliva coming up, because your saliva does come up every time you gag to protect the enamel from your teeth when you throw up, or at least that's what I think it's for. I don't know. I do have some notes, so that's why I keep kind of looking down. And the cramping for me before was more of a signal that my period was coming. However, the cramping, before I found out that I was pregnant, was just intense. And I had never really experienced that kind of cramping before, to the point where it would make me bend, if that makes sense. My period was behind for like 7 to 8 days, and I know that I'm not a regular person when it comes to period. So I will use my symptoms to kind of track it down, as well as this app that I would use to kind of go hand in hand of when it was actually coming. And then I will use my symptoms to be to confirm that it was for sure coming at that time, for me to just be more prepared and I will have no accidents. However, that does not really work for me at all sometimes, because once again, being irregular throughout your period has its ups and downs. For example, you could feel all these symptoms and then not have it until 3 days later. And for this time, it was 8 days later. And after that, I was just I don't feel okay. All these symptoms are much harder on me. I need to get the test now. And then my sense of smell also changed a lot. I would say that it kind of seemed like I had gained a super power, let's say, because I would have, I don't know how to say it, I would be in one room and then I could smell somebody else eating in their room when I wouldn't have noticed that beforehand. My sense of smell definitely turned bad on meats. I could not stand any kind of meat, watching it or touching it or smelling it. I could just not do it. I could not eat chicken, I could not eat pork or beef. And fish, I've never been able to stand fish, so that was not so strange to me. But with everything else, it was. So yeah, I remember coming out of my room and I would smell my roommate's meals, and I would just go back into the bathroom, try to hold in my breath so I wouldn't like vomit at the moment. I never actually threw up during my whole pregnancy because I would hold it, since I do not like to throw up. But I'm just glad that I never actually got to that point where I got to throw up for a long time, or I was always in the bathroom throwing up. Like, I never got that. And another thing that I thought it was kind of weird and funny, it was the metallic taste in my mouth. Some people say that it tasted just the way it tastes when you first get your braces. For me, it kind of tasted like a whole silver spoon in your mouth the whole time. So, and that would cause me to gag sometimes, because you just don't want to be tasting like a whole bunch of things all the time in your mouth. So that was one pretty weird thing that I did not know that could happen during pregnancy. The other thing is, I have heard about this before from my mom and other family members, but I did not know that it was gonna be this bad, and that's how tired you could feel during pregnancy. And I remember waking up sometimes and not wanting to go to work, feeling so horrible. I did skip once, like from work, and that day I did not feel good at all. Like, I was having a lot of cramping, nausea, and I just could not get out of bed. And that was like one of the hardest days of my entire pregnancy, I want to say. And I felt kind of bad because it was like a last minute call for my manager, and she was so sweet. She understood. She did not know that I was pregnant, but she understood, and that was kind of like really sweet to me. She just kind of said that I should let her know in advance. However, since I did not really want to like announce that I was pregnant yet, I just kind of like said okay, even though I could not really prevent me from feeling like that, and not kind of, and me saying it in advance, oh, I feel so bad, because it just happens in that moment. Like, you cannot predict that you're gonna feel bad or not. And the last thing of how I found that I was pregnant was based on the tests themselves. I did take 6 tests throughout a span of 5 to 6 days. So I took the 6 tests because it was just so surreal to me that I could be pregnant, or that I was gonna be a mom so young. But here I am, and yeah, I actually will insert a picture of all the tests somewhere around here, and will also include a video of one of the actual tests, as I apply the urine sample, and the results showing live. I did not show my face, however, I did send that video to my best friend, and I immediately showed that to my mom as well, like after she had found out. And yeah, at first my mom actually thought that I was pranking her, and I didn't know what to say to her. I was so nervous, and I felt like, I don't know, like she wouldn't be okay with that idea, even though I do not live with her anymore and I am an adult. So I don't know, it's just kind of like that thought that your mom's not gonna be okay with your decisions or stuff like that just because of how you don't want to feel like you're disappointing your parents, even though I did not think that I was disappointing her. But I did think that I was, or that I am, a little too young sometimes to just have this huge responsibility. But I never thought about like me not wanting to have a baby ever. I have always wanted to have a baby. Even me being always there for when raising my siblings, I never once said because of this reason I know I don't want to have kids anytime soon, or I don't want kids at all. Like, I've always wanted to have kids from a young age, but I didn't think that I would become a mom this young. Uh, but yeah, here I am, and I don't regret being a young mom. In fact, I do feel much happier that I am a young mom, or will be a young mom, because me looking back, I do not really want to feel like I don't have much time. If I were to be older than my age now, I feel like I would go through so much more. There's so much more experiences now that I am young, and seeing my kids grow and me not having to really worry that something bad's gonna happen to me health wise because of the older I am, the more worry I will get. Even though me being young does not mean that I'm gonna last forever, but it does give me more of a sense of peace that I'll be okay. But you can never predict. It's just like a sense of peace that I feel being younger mom than as a higher in age, because they have done some research that the older you are, the harder it may be health wise or anything. Just an but yeah, that's pretty much all the bullet points I have in my experience. A lot of things I might have skipped, but those are the ones I have more engraved in my memory that I will never forget for sure. And yeah, if you have any more symptoms that you would like to share, please do so in the comments down below, because there's a lot of women that would like to know what are symptoms that a lot of pregnant women would experience, and not every woman is the same, so a lot of women would have different symptoms and experiences based on their body and based on also the gender of the baby, I say. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.